In a nation built on the promise of opportunity, two contrasting visions for immigration are poised to shape the future of millions. Let's delve into the stark differences between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's immigration policies. Today, we explore why Trump and Harris's stances on immigration matter. What are the key policies each proposes? How have these policies evolved over time? And what impacts could they have on the country? We've analyzed the latest political data, expert insights, and historical precedents to bring you a comprehensive breakdown. Stay tuned for a deep dive into the most critical aspects of their immigration strategies, plus an analysis of potential outcomes. Remember the bold promise to build the wall? It wasn't just a slogan, it was a cornerstone of Trump's immigration policy. During his first term, Trump aggressively pursued policies aimed at reducing both legal and illegal immigration. His administration implemented travel bans targeting predominantly Muslim countries, reduced refugee admissions, and sought to end the DACA program, which protects undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. The construction of the border wall, a highly symbolic project, was both a physical and political effort to curb illegal immigration. These measures sparked widespread debate, with supporters lauding them as essential for national security, and detractors criticizing them as discriminatory and inhumane. Trump's approach prioritized enforcement and deterrence, reshaping the immigration landscape through executive orders and regulatory changes. This strategy appealed to a significant portion of the electorate concerned with border security, but it also faced legal challenges and international criticism. Contrast that with Harris's approach, which could fundamentally shift the narrative on immigration. What does she propose? Kamala Harris advocates for comprehensive immigration reform that emphasizes compassion and practicality. Her proposals include reinstating and expanding DACA protections, providing a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, and reforming asylum processes to be more efficient and humane. Harris has also focused on addressing the root causes of migration by investing in the economies and security of Central American countries. Her vision includes increasing the availability of legal pathways for migrants, such as humanitarian parole and temporary work visas, to manage migration more effectively and humanely. Harris's policies aim to balance border security with humane treatment of immigrants, promoting legal immigration avenues while ensuring due process for asylum seekers. This stance seeks to counteract the harsher measures of the previous administration and foster a more inclusive national narrative. The real question isn't just about policies, it's about the philosophy behind them. What drives these starkly different approaches? Trump's policies are deeply rooted in a protectionist ideology, emphasizing the safeguarding of American jobs and resources. His administration's efforts to restrict immigration were seen as part of a broader America First agenda, aimed at prioritizing U.S. citizens and reducing reliance on foreign labor. In contrast, Harris's approach is informed by a belief in America's role as a refuge and beacon of hope. Her policies advocate for a more global perspective, acknowledging the benefits of immigration in enriching American culture and economy. This humanitarian approach also considers the ethical responsibilities towards migrants fleeing persecution and poverty. The philosophical divide between Trump and Harris not only reflects different policy preferences, but also shapes the broader cultural and political discourse. It influences public opinion, voter behavior, and the international community's perception of the U.S. How these policies are implemented or contested could have long-lasting implications on the nation's identity and global standing. Experts like Andrew Seeley of the Migration Policy Institute emphasize the need for a balanced approach that includes both enforcement and legal pathways. According to Seeley, stretching the limits of executive authority to create humanitarian programs has been a necessary but insufficient response without congressional support. Historical analysis shows that U.S. immigration policy has swung between restriction and liberalization, often reflecting broader social and economic conditions. For instance, the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, signed by President Reagan, combined stricter enforcement with amnesty provisions, a precursor to the kind of comprehensive reform Harris advocates. How do these policies impact communities and the economy? The effects are far-reaching and complex. Trump's policies, including the reduction of refugee admissions and increased deportations, have had significant impacts on immigrant communities. Families have been separated, and many have faced uncertainty regarding their future in the U.S. These policies have also strained relationships between immigrant communities and law enforcement. On the economic front, industries that rely heavily on immigrant labor, such as agriculture and construction, have experienced workforce shortages. Conversely, Harris's proposed policies aim to integrate immigrants into the economy more fully, arguing that providing pathways to citizenship can boost economic growth by enabling immigrants to participate more actively and openly in the workforce. Studies suggest that comprehensive immigration reform could increase GDP and reduce the federal deficit by providing legal status to millions of undocumented workers. But can these policies survive the legislative gauntlet? What are the political dynamics at play? Both Trump's and Harris's immigration policies face significant legislative hurdles. Trump's first term saw numerous executive orders and regulatory changes, but many faced legal challenges and pushback from Congress. Harris's vision for immigration reform requires substantial legislative support, which is complicated by the deeply divided nature of Congress. Bipartisan efforts at comprehensive immigration reform have repeatedly stalled, most recently with the failed attempt to pass a bill that would have codified certain protections and provided funding for border security. Political analysts suggest that without a clear majority in Congress, significant immigration reform will remain elusive. The success of these policies hinges on political negotiation and compromise. The current polarization in American politics makes it challenging to achieve the necessary consensus, meaning that any substantial changes to immigration policy will likely be incremental and contentious. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into the contrasting immigration policies of Trump and Harris. If you found this analysis insightful, check out our video on how immigration policies have evolved over the decades in the U.S. Don't forget to subscribe to Mystery and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Dive deeper into these crucial issues and stay informed.